some of us aren't getting it done, and I think we just might be forgetting how to use it. So this will be a good resource anytime you need it. So again, when you're doing this assignment, I suggest you start at our Wikispaces page, because that is going to allow you to potentially get sources that you know are reliable. It's not like you're just getting a Yahoo News story. These are reliable sources. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click Science Daily, and that's going to take me here. Now, I actually had already found an article, but when you're here, remember, you can approach it a couple different ways. You can go with your big topics at the top, okay, and you know, a lot of you in here are all going in this area. You're all going for social behavioral studies, and I would challenge you to start looking in some of these other areas. So when I did my search to get this article, I had searched for bacteria, and I'm going to back it up just one step. Okay, so I had searched for just bacteria. Now, when I look at these first 3 articles that have shown up, I can tell a couple things about like potential studies that I could do. Okay, so this one right here, just looking at the title, I probably can't do it, so I don't think I'm going to waste my time here. Now, reading over this, I do notice that it says bioluminescent bacteria, and so Debbie at Kit Bonnet said they do have some of those with the fluorescent gene. So I might click on this later, but I know that I'm not going to be able to work with tumors in mice. Okay, so when I look at this next article, even if I read it and maybe I don't know what pathogenic means, viruses, bacteria, and water supply, that has some potential there. Okay, jump down to the next one. Protein study gives fresh impetus in fight against superbugs. Probably not, okay, because I know I'm not going to be able to work with MRSA. I'm not going to be able to work with bacteria that are resistant to staph, and I'm also probably not going to be able to work with something as small as a protein. Okay, so when I look through these, I know I can even not click all of them. I can just choose certain ones. Looking down the page, an older, cheaper vacuum cleaner releases more bacteria and dust. That would be an easy study to do. You could actually probably compare the filters from different bacterias and grow the filters from different vacuums and grow the bacteria on a plate, and you could actually see the types on an older compared to a newer vacuum cleaner, and that would be an excellent study. Okay, so why don't we actually go ahead? I'll go back to this one, but you could probably look at that one too. So go ahead and click viruses. The only reason I'm not sure about this one is because viruses are pretty small, but I'm still going to see what it has to say. Okay? So, remember, as I'm reading, I want to mark it up, and I really want to mark up all my thoughts. Like when I'm looking for your articles, I don't want to see that you annotated 2 things. It's just not going to be good enough. And I will write this up on an assignment sheet, but you should have at least 5 annotations on a page. Okay? So when I'm reading this first sentence, one thing that sticks out to me right away is that these researchers were from MU. Okay, so here's why that's cool. If you were interested in doing something similar to this study, having researchers at MU, you would probably be able to contact those researchers relatively easy because they're in your home state. It's not like we're reading about researchers in India. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So remember, I just select the text I want to do, I highlight it, and then I can also add a sticky note to it. And then finally, what I just out loud I'm going to put here. So scientists were at MU. These scientists might be available to talk with me about my project. Okay, and then the final step is you want to make sure you're saving it to our Gate 7 group. And that's a step I'm worried some of you have missed. If you already highlighted an article but you didn't save it to Gate 7, I cannot see it. So I would have no idea you did your work. Okay, so once I've done that highlight and the sticky note, I'm going to go ahead and post it. Okay, so here I keep reading and I see viruses known as bacteriophages could be used to efficiently sanitize water treatment facilities and may aid in the fight against deadly antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So I'm going to highlight this here. Okay, and just show you another way that you could potentially use a highlight. So while I'm looking at this, I have a couple questions. So I might say, okay, how big are bacteriophages? Okay, first step. How do we currently sanitize water in regard to bacteria? How well is water sanitized? Okay, and that right there is leading to, again, a potential topic, like how well is our water sanitized? How much bacteria is allowed to live? Okay, and if it is a significant amount, and we come up with a new way to sanitize water, that has a lot of potential. Okay, so again, I'm going to go ahead and post that. Okay, so I would continue annotating this article in the same way. And then when I'm done, I can see that, okay, this article was provided from MU, and I can also see who wrote it, okay, if I wanted to contact them later. Okay, so this site is pretty helpful. Okay, your final thing for Diigo that some of you might find confusing is that once you have your articles highlighted, you may not know where to find them. So when you're on the web or you're on an app, you can actually just go to Diigo, and then in your library, those articles are going to show up. So I just highlighted this viruses article. It's going to show up in my library with my notes, okay? So for those of you who had already highlighted an article but didn't show up, you could go to add sticky note, and then you could, I'm not sure if that will work. I was wondering if you could maybe add a sticky note and save it. But all you would need to probably do is, oh, okay, you could send it to me, but I think it would just send my article. I'm not sure if it would send your notes. But wait, it says include quotes. So it looks like you could send it to me through Diigo. Or you could actually go back to your article, highlight a couple of them, and make sure you saved it to the group so it did show up in the group. Okay. So that sums it up, but if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me.